are discussing the top 5 reasons why I think the Sony a6400 is still a cinematic beast and why you shouldn't rule it out as a great value for money photography and or videography tool to add to your camera bag. Okay, let's start out with the most blaringly obvious point, the price. Now I picked mine up secondhand with a shutter count of less than 200 frames, 1 month old with manufacturer's warranty for $600 off the asking retail price. Now, initially I wanted the a6400 just because I had the bigger Z-type battery, but I've since realized I didn't actually need that because I still get 2 to 3 hours worth of filming anyway, on and off of course, on my current setup before I get to like 50% battery. But because there was at the time very little secondhand a6600s, the a6400 was in surplus, so that's why I picked this little number. Now of course, if you don't want to take risks like me, which is totally fine, the asking retail price of the a6400 with the kit lens is $998 US, so just under $1,000 will get you a 4K flip out screen, 24.2 megapixel sensor, a 0.2 of a second autofocus, etc, which in my opinion for $998 US is not that bad a price at all. Yes, you can do what I did and just wait it out until the right one comes up, but at the end of the day, obviously if your budget allows for it, that will still get you a lot more, and this is coming from a full frame shooter's perspective, than you bargained for. Now I mentioned 4K before, and yes, this camera shoots at 4K, 30 and 24, as well as 1080, 60, 30, 24, which at this level, you don't really, like in my perspective, you don't really need much more. Like, do you really need to film your face at 8K or like 4K, 120 frames a second? I mean, I don't. Obviously, it's up to you if you decide you need that. But yes, 4K. And for the reasons of that, I've decided to shoot this video in 4K. Now, did I want to do that? Not particularly, but I had to involuntarily upgrade my laptop, so I thought, why not give it a go? Now, I hear you when you say, what do you mean involuntarily? Well, it went something along the lines of this.
Hello, Nicholas.
Hi?
I must say, as fun as this has been, I feel it's time for me to go.
Wait, I'm in the middle of exporting this. Can you please just wait 5 minutes?
No, I feel like this is the perfect time.
No, come on, please. This took me forever.
No. In the words of Mr. Von Tramp.
Please, I am
so
begging
long,
you.
farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
That's basically what happened, more or less. But now I get to film in 4K. As well as this, you get S&Q mode, which is basically slow motion, and that is 120 frames a second. You'll also get, as I said, 0.2 of a second autofocus rate, which is essentially this. How quick is that, honestly? Like, even I couldn't make that happen in post. You also get an external mic to hook up a better microphone. And did I mention a flip out screen? Well, if I didn't, yeah, you do. You get a flip out screen at the top so you can see yourself in all of your goodness, or not so goodness, when you're running around with the camera in your hand. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot in here. Now, I will be taking you next week on a vlog that I filmed 2 weeks ago as I chased waterfalls up the coast, so you will see just how good the autofocus and the 1080p video rate can be on this camera. So if you're into something like that, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you are enjoying this content so far, please do tap that like button for me, because it really does help. All right, on to the next point. Now, I can't go past photo quality, which in all honesty continues to surprise me, and that's coming from a full frame shooting perspective. I think like back in the day, crop sensors weren't crash hot at like all round goodness, and I'm not saying they are, but they're pretty decent. As I said, when I went 2 weeks ago, I shot Astro on this camera, which blew my mind, honestly. Like, here's the picture. That came from a crop sensor camera. What even? Am I right? Now, I was using and am using a fantastic lens, which you can check out up here. I think it's up here or up here, somewhere up here, which I did a review on a few weeks ago. So to finish this point off, it is really schooling me just how good a crop sensor can be when paired with a good lens. Like, here's a few pictures so you can see. Like, they're not too shabby at all, like, at least in my opinion, like, because, you know, I took them. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Are they as good as I'm perceiving them to be? So the next thing I want to point out, and it's probably the most important one, which I've left for number 4, is the E-mount system. Now, I shoot exclusively with Tamron lenses, which I've got a video planned for in the future, but long story short, they are, in my opinion, the best quality for the price you pay. Now, the reason I mention this is that the E-mount system covers a huge variety of lenses. You have, as I said, Tamron, Sony E-mounts, obviously, Samyang, Sigma, 50 million other ones. So you're really spoiled for choice when it comes to what lens to pair with your camera, and thus not limited because you don't have to just get a Sony lens, which in my opinion is pretty unnecessarily expensive. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about portability. Now, if you're like me and you're thinking of taking pictures or like filming your travels or whatnot, then portability is a massive factor, which is why I think this camera comes in perfectly. Like, I got a full frame A7 at the back there, and I'm telling you that once you're carrying around that on a GorillaPod all day, compared to this on a GorillaPod all day, the weight is like half. And that is a huge deal when you've got it up around like this. So take it from me, your arms, they get a bit sore after a while. So like these two combinations, I think, make it perfect for your travels, or if you're just going out for a day with the fam, like whatever it is you're planning on doing. As well as this, I keep mentioning it, but the flip out screen, like you can get a flip out screen on the top for $1,000 on an a6400, or you get the A7S III with a flip out screen for like $5,000 odd. Like, who wants to spend that money on a camera, am I right? And I do mention the flip out screen because I personally feel it adds to the portability, because then you don't have to have like an external monitor on the top or really guess where you are on the lens, because if I don't know where I am, I'm just like, wait, I'm good, I'm in the frame, we're good, continue on with your day. So this has just been a really quick 5 tips as to why I think the a6400 is still a fantastic camera and why you shouldn't rule one of these out. I didn't go into the cons on purpose. I will save that for another more lengthy video, as there has been a few here and there, but as I said, we won't get into them. Now, as I said, next week I will be going back into the wonderful world of exploration, and I will be showing you just how good this camera and this lens paired together look on a real life vlog chasing waterfalls up the coast. So if you are interested, if you are looking forward to that, then please do whack that like button to let me know. And if you haven't subscribed already, then please do. And I will see you in the next one. Until then.